So today, I'm so very, very, very excited. I'm not excited for me, I'm really excited for you. Because I remember the feelings and the emotions that I felt and experienced the first time I was shown how to make proper, quality, homemade hummus. For some people watching this video, they have been waiting for this, for me to share this secret for over 30 years. For others, it's been a few years, and for yet others, it's been about as little as 3 weeks. So this is a big shout out to Ali, who's been waiting well over 30 years for this. To Randa, who's been waiting for probably about 5 or 6 years. And to Alana, who's only been waiting about 3 weeks, so you're extremely lucky. But get ready, get prepared. This is gonna be the best hummus you've ever tasted in your life. But like always, the first thing we do is obviously put some music on. So first of all, let's go over some ingredients. We'll need some chickpeas, some olive oil, some ground cumin, some tahini. If you possibly can get some Lebanese tahini, the highest quality, the better. Lemon, some kosher salt, and about 3 cloves of garlic. I've got about a cup of chickpeas here, and this is some of the water that they were boiling in. For that proportion, at least 1 lemon and 3 cloves of garlic. With the chickpeas, you put the quantity that you need into a pan, leave them to soak overnight, or ideally 24 hours, and then you bring that pan to the boil. Put some salt in there, and bring it to the boil, then bring it back down to simmer. It'll start to foam, and you'll get some foam on the top. You keep scraping that off 3, 4, 5 times, and then you let it simmer, cover it, leave it for an hour and a half to cook properly. Always use dried, fresh, or dried chickpeas, not canned chickpeas, because you get all of the acidity and the processing material and all of the E numbers inside the can. Some people say to me with the lemon, why do you bother with a fresh lemon? Why not just use concentrated lemon? So you absolutely can, and this is what you do with concentrated lemon. So we've got some really good quality concentrated lemon here. What you really do is open up your kitchen cupboard here, you take out your bin, and you take your concentrated lemon and you throw it in there. Never, ever, ever use concentrated lemon. It's an absolute abomination. If you're gonna do homemade hummus, make homemade hummus. If you just want to eat some hummus, go to a local shop and buy some. So welcome back. So we've spoken about the importance of fresh lemon, of garlic, of fresh chickpeas. So now we're just gonna start preparing things a little bit. First of all, we've got a cutting board. So with the lemon, I've washed it already, and I've washed my hands. Literally roll the lemon out as much as you possibly can. It's best to use lemon rather than lime, but it's possible to use lime as well. And after that, and I really want to show you this trick. So we cut the lemon in half and de-seed it as much as absolutely possible if there's anything in there. And then you'll start to just take all of the lemon juice out. But the key thing I really want to show you is once you've done that, and it's not done enough now, is that you get the back of a knife or you get a spoon and you go in there and you just go around and around and around to take out all of the flesh, but leave the white rind in there. Or if you get some white rind in there, take that out. So you get as much of the lemon as you possibly can out of there. So, welcome back. Here we've got a Black & Decker 8-cup food processor, but just get any old food processor. If you've got a hand blender, then it's absolutely fine. You can still use a hand blender. But I prefer to use a food processor because it really does grind everything really well. Now with the chickpeas, I've drained some of the liquid that I cooked the chickpeas in on the side here because it may be too much. So I want to control how emulsified and how runny the chickpeas are. This is just, as I mentioned earlier on, this is just over a cup of chickpeas. So that goes in first of all with a little bit of liquid. 3.5 cloves of garlic that are roughly chopped, that goes in as well. And I work on not exact measurements, certainly with the hummus, but rough measurements. So if you just keep an eye on how many teaspoons or tablespoons of virgin olive oil I put in. So I'll just put quite a few glugs in here, and that's about it. The way I used to make it years ago is just pour tons of olive oil in there. Now I've calmed a lot of that down. So at this stage, that's all we need to put in, and then we start blending away. So we're back again. Been blending it for about 3 minutes or so. It still needs a little bit more work, but if we take the lid off and just have a look at the consistency here. So you can actually smell that garlic come out, and it's got a little bit of consistency. And if I can just show you with a spoon. Here we go, you can see the consistency here. I still haven't put the lemon in. So now I'll actually put all of the lemon in, which, if you remember, is just one large lemon, and some cumin powder, probably about a teaspoon of that initially, and then we'll carry on blending again for a little while. Come over here. So again, we're blending for an extra further couple of minutes or so with the lemon juice. So you can have a look at the consistency now. It's a lot runnier, but now you can smell some more lemon in there, all of the garlic, the cumin. I've just given it a little taste, and I think what we could do with is just a little bit more cumin right now. So I'll just put like maybe half a teaspoon of cumin in. And now this is where we start getting the consistency back again, right? So I'll just use a large spoon just to control this. So I'm gonna pour some tahini in there. It's probably about maybe three or 4 tablespoons of tahini in. And if you underdo it initially, you can always add a little bit more on top. Okay. Like always, I'm continually washing my hands all of the way through. So we put this little guy on, and we carry on for another few minutes. So this is going to go for another couple of moments now. And if you just have a look at the consistency right now, the way you really do this is based on flavor and consistency. So if you have a look at the consistency here, like it'll sort of blob down, but it's actually very consistent. It's not too runny at all, and obviously work on flavor. Now I haven't put the salt in yet, but now I'm going to start putting the salt into flavor. And if you just have a look at how much salt I put in, so with this maybe, you know, a quarter of a teaspoon or so. Bearing in mind this is kosher salt, so obviously it's a lot saltier than the standard salt. And the reason I use kosher salt is I don't want all of the preservatives and all of the chemicals in the standard cheaper salt that you get from the supermarket. So I'm going to blend that again for another couple of minutes, and I'm going to taste it. It may need a little bit more cumin, may need a little bit more garlic, may need a little bit more olive oil, may need a little bit more tahini. So I'll just blend that in as I go time on. So all in all, this has been about 4 or 5 minutes of blending or so. We'll just have a look at the consistency again here and do a little taste. Tastes absolutely brilliant. There's not too much salt in there, not too much anything. Great, welcome back. So we put the hummus back in there. Let's just finish it off and dress it off. I use a spoon and I go over the top of it just to flatten it out. There's no need for it to be too smooth and too perfect. There's a little bit of rusticness. Then I get a fork, some chili powder, and you literally just sprinkle a little bit of chili powder on top, just for effect, and a little bit of spice as well. Right? How does that look? And then you can even finish it off with a few cumin seeds, not ground cumin seeds, just standard cumin seeds. There we go. And if you so choose, you can actually pour a little bit of olive oil on top as well, just drizzle it very, very lightly. I prefer not. And this is it. Homemade hummus.